How's it going, everybody? Preston Gray here with Red Chair Podcast. Thank you for joining us again for episode 3. In the studio today, we have MISCOMUNICADO, some Fort Collins local jammy guys here to hang out with us, talk a little bit about some music, talk a little bit about some studio stuff, hopefully touch on some topics that everybody's dying to hear about today. So how's it going, gentlemen?
Excellent. Going well, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man.
Excited to be here.
I was just telling everybody I was jamming your stuff this morning, so very much a fan myself. So I think the locale public might actually get on with you guys in a little bit here as well.
I'd like to hear
Sweet.
about that. I hope so.
Well, just kind of a couple introductions just to get us all situated today, guys. So tell us a little bit about MISCOMUNICADO, kind of what you've been up to. Give us kind of the lowdown about things working in your world of music.
So as of late, we've been kind of taking a step back from oversaturating the show market. Writing new material, always. We've got like an album and a half worth of new stuff now. Mm-hmm. And also taking the show to a whole new level. We are getting live musicians instead of just the two of us and a DJ. Now there's going to be drums, bass, hopefully keys, all sorts of good stuff coming. So we've really just been hibernating and making new exciting stuff come to fruition. So
give everybody the final product whenever she's the best she can be. Eh?
Exactly.
Yep. Good guys. Well, that's cool. Yeah, we're really excited to have you in the studio here today. I know you guys have been around for quite a bit, even whenever I started getting into the local music scene as well. So you've always been a name in the back of my mind too, and I know a lot of people here in town have been really digging you guys. So
sweet.
Rise Music Festival. That's another big stepping stone.
Yes, we are super excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, the guys will be coming playing a Rise Music Festival here the 4th through the 6th of August. On one of the bills there, they're going to a Green Tree stage. Am I correct?
Correct. Saturday night, 5:50 p.m.
5:50 p.m. Go check them out. They are
be
awesome.
There at 5:30 because we'll be there too. So
buy them shots and other things.
Yeah,
to
we like
show your appreciation.
We like stuff and things. So.
Well, I guess jumping into just kind of learn a little bit about you guys, and we got the vagueness out of the way there too. My first question for James, if any of you recognize James from our last episode 2, sitting down with the do's and don'ts of the recording studio and building your artist-engineer relationship, James is one of our engineers here at Chimera as well.
I am.
So I guess a big first question for you, James, being a recording artist as well as an engineer on yourself, how has either description or like those job titles, how has those influenced the work you do down here as well? Also, how does it feel to do 20 takes at once in a single session when you say you're going to get it in one?
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
Crushed. That was a Chris
Sorry,
question.
I couldn't help myself. I apologize.
That was a Chris question. You know, as a musician and an engineer, you go into the studio and, you know, we've been playing the song that we worked on. We've been playing for a little while now, so we know it pretty well. Finding the balance between you as an engineer and you as a musician. As an engineer, I want to go up there and I want to start tweaking things as it's going on. As a musician, you gotta kind of let you gotta kind of let the engineer do their thing. And in this position, I'm sort of both on the thing. So on the project here, so it's a battle within myself whether or not I go up there and I spend 10 minutes to work on something real quick before we record the next take, or do we just do the take and then I do it all at the end, and remembering where things are in the session. So it's for me to get ready as a musician coming into it. I gotta forget that I'm the engineer, and I gotta think about it. Okay, I need to practice.
It's like
my
two
parts.
separate brain worlds.
It is.
Yeah.
It's two entirely different things. You know, Dan and I do a lot of production on our own stuff together, and you know, I do well when he's in the room recording for me. I feel comfortable. So being in a setting like this, it feels comfortable for me, having my bandmate also being able to help me out and do some of the stop-start and help me mix it and stuff like that. It's cool. But as an engineer, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I got to move ahead here. I got to keep going. We got to keep rolling. There's this take to do. So it's a battle of patience as a musician and an engineer for myself.
Of course. Yeah, I feel like it's always just a separate world too. And even someone like me who has a very low ball knowledge of what it actually is like to have be a recording engineer and what goes into the mixing and the mastering process too, it almost feels like putting it in those two separate worlds, being up in the studio is just something you have so much more going on through your mind. And even being a recording artist, I've noticed how many things are just bouncing around my brain.
You know,
I can't even imagine.
As a musician, what Chris was referring to was what he was referring to. You know, there's a solo I was trying, and as a musician, I want to try it a couple different ways. I want to get that live feel to that solo, that almost improvisation at times to it. And as an engineer, you're just trying to get through it so that you can keep going, so that you're not wasting anybody's time and stuff. So there was a battle for me there as to, do I play it kind of safe, or do I kind of have fun as the musician to make the best part that I can? Or, so I had to find a happy medium there to do a good job, but also keep things moving in a way that we were still productive.
Absolutely.
And so that does play tricks on your mind,
So,
you want to
so if we didn't have to keep moving, it would have been 100 takes?
No. No.
I understand. I definitely understand completely where you're coming from, though, because you want to serve the song and you want to make sure that you're giving the most creative influence that you can to it in the best possible and most, I guess, accurate way you want to present it there too. But then at the back of your mind, you have all this technical jargon bouncing around your brain. And you're like, oh, I could have totally done this.
How's
here.
my tone sound up there? What's it gonna sound like when I go listen to it? What's it gonna sound like when I mix it in? Is this right? Is that right?
Thank God you know more about this than I do. That's too much anxiety for me.
I have a good cover up. Man, I'm good at cover.
You try. Well, then being said from that, guys, since we know your kind of experience with the studio, I guess for you, Dan, I know you and James have been friends for quite a long time, making music since you were little tiny tots, first picking up guitars and tuning strings together for the first time there. But from the chemistry you guys have as friends, do you guys really think that has a lot of influence on the music you write together?
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, it makes it, at this point in our friendship and relationship as bandmates, it makes it a little easier because
we can be brutally honest with each other.
Like
when we
sometimes
suck.
he'll come over and I'm like, dude, check out this new song I made, and I'm so stoked and so proud of it, and he's like, that sucks. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll take your word for it. And then I usually listen to it a week later, and I'm like, yeah, that does suck.
So the thing is, though, we do keep our friendship and our band friendship are almost two separate things as well. Like we definitely have gotten in our faces about some music stuff because we're both really into the music we're writing. So we're both like, oh, we want the best for what it is. But at the end of the day, we're best friends first. And so even if we have a huge argument about a song, 10 minutes later, it's like, yo, you want to go get some food?
Exactly. I feel like that's where it gets lost between so many bands just getting that whole thing of like, this is a business and then this is our friendship too. And it's just like, you can't be friends with the people you're playing music with. That just really doesn't make sense.
And like you said, we've been friends for so long that it's almost like we kind of think the same when it comes to music. We've kind of developed together in that aspect. So we don't have a lot of problems, and we work through things really well together. But when we're playing, when we're jamming, things will happen where we're both like, oh, we played the same melody. There's and we never talked about it, nothing like that. It just kind of happens. But that's where that comes in, and we start writing songs, and he'll write half of it and I'll write another half, and then we pull them together, and it's like, oh wow, those work together really well.
It's interesting how you say that too, because the last episode I remember when we shot with all the engineers and stuff, I think it was Dan that we were talking to it about. It was the whole idea between having more ears to listen into is always a better thing than just kind of trying to go through and judge yourself. And since you guys have, as you said, that very connected writing style together, you guys do a lot of your same influence. It comes together and kind of meshes well and really kind of gets cohesive. I feel like that kind of adds to it of adding more ears to the sound, getting a cohesive and more kind of adapting dynamic flow to the song, really adding pieces that maybe you wouldn't think of on your own to have that little extra bit as well.
Absolutely. I mean, especially because we both have very different styles of playing and writing, as well as very different influences. So no matter who brings an idea to the table, the other one is always going to bring a completely new element to it that never would have come from just one of us. So
excellent.
And going back to your previous question with being an engineer and a musician, Dan will come up with an idea and be like, yo, listen to this. And then me as an engineer can go, watch what we're going to do to it to make it that next step, to push it further. And so that's nice because I can come up with an idea and from an engineer's perspective be too technical with it, or versus and then he gets his ears on it and he's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to make it like this. And so it's real fun because we get two sides of it and it's always ever changing.
Cool. Well, I guess kind of finish up with you guys then. Last question for you there too. So yeah, Rise Music Festival. What an opportunity.
We are beyond excited.
That's killer, guys. That is so killer. Well, I guess the big question about that too, I mean, what is the most exciting thing you're looking forward to about it? I mean, this is a big festival. It's a big festival.
Getting to share our music with that many people, I think, and that many like-minded people, I'm super excited about. And there's just a great lineup. So getting to interact and share the stage with all those amazing other musicians. It's going to be really awesome. And just to be included in something that's like so special to our hometown. We're really excited to be involved this year finally. So we've wanted this for a while, so.
Of course, you guys worked hard for it. You definitely deserve it.
Well, I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Well, cool. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming in today, just sharing a little bit about you there too. For any of our viewers back home too, if you want to pick up Funland Express, we have it on Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, all the different platforms. You can like MISCOMUNICADO on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And definitely coming in the next couple months here. Be sure to go August 4th through 6th for Rise Music Festival and check these guys out on Saturday. Green Tree Stage, 5:50 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for now, I am Preston Gray. We are signing off. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate it.
Alrighty.